And joining us now, National Institutes of Health Director Dr. Francis Collins. Doctor, welcome back to Fox News Sunday. Good morning to you, sir. What do we need to know about the Omicron variant? Is it more contagious? Will it lead to more severe disease? Your thoughts, sir?
Well, those are the right questions, Trace, and this is early enough that it's hard to be sure we know the answers, and that's what a lot of us are spending our time on. Over the last 3 days, I think I've been on Zoom calls and phone calls pretty much continuously. Yeah. We do know that this is a variant that has a lot of mutations, like 50 of them, and more than 30 of those in the spike protein, which is the part of the virus that attaches to your human cells if you get infected. That is a new record in terms of the number of mutations. It does make you worry, therefore, that it's a sufficiently different virus that it might not respond as well to protection from the vaccines, but we don't know that. We can certainly see that in South Africa and a few neighboring countries in the south part of Africa, this does seem to be spreading quite rapidly. So the inference would be there that it's particularly contagious. We don't know about its severity. Trying to collect that data as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I'm interested, when you talk about spike proteins, it tends to confuse people. When you say various mutations and spike proteins, specifically, sir, what do you mean by that?
So remember the picture of this virus, that it has these spikes on its surface, which are made up of protein. That's the part of the virus that has to find a receptor on your cell to get inside. So there's sort of a lock and a key there. And this one is apparently able to still do that. It's infecting people. But the shape of that protein is different because of these 30-plus mutations, so that it looks a little different. So if you've raised antibodies against that from previously being infected or from being vaccinated, the question is, will those antibodies still stick to this version of the spike protein, or will it evade that protection? We need to find that out. To be honest, though, that's going to take 2 or 3 weeks in both laboratory and field studies to figure out the answer. And that's what all of us as scientists want to know.
And very quickly, because I know you say you don't really know much about this variant, but when you have these doctors in the South African Medical Association, including one who actually spotted this variant down in South Africa, and he says, you know, the symptoms tend to be mild. Is it too early to make that declaration?
I think it's too early, Trace. I think the initial cases were mostly young people who tend to have mild infections anyway. We need more data there before we could say confidently that this is not a severe version of the virus. But we should find that out in the next couple of weeks.
So, Dr. Collins, let's move on now. The president has put a travel ban in 8 South African countries. Let's put those on the screen. Here's the vaccination rates of those countries. You can see they go all the way up to 27% in Lesotho and then all the way down to 3.2% in Malawi, which is extraordinarily low. The former Biden advisor, Dr. Zeke Emanuel, said the following, and I'm quoting here, restricting travel is going to slow. It's coming, not stop it from coming. The fact that it's coming here is inevitable. The environment in which it comes may not be inevitable. We can alter the environment. And if it's just a case of trying to slow it down, Dr. Collins, why not put in place more travel bans? Because the people in South Africa, some of the government officials there, feel like they're being singled out, feel like this is a little bit discriminatory against them.
Well, I think it is a difficult decision, Trace, and this is just the best advice of the public health experts, and you'll notice other countries like the UK and the EU are doing the same. Keep in mind, of course, that everybody who's a foreign traveler coming to the U.S. has to have a test 3 days in advance if you're vaccinated, 1 day in advance if you're unvaccinated. So we are screening travelers from everywhere. But given the current circumstance, out of an abundance of caution, seeing that this is the most serious new variant that we've seen in several months, it made sense for at least for a temporary measure. We're not going to say this is going to be there for a long time, to block travel from those countries where we know Omicron is already spreading.
Yeah, we talked about the vaccination rates in some of these South African countries. I want to put up the vaccination rates and booster rates from this country, Doctor, because it's kind of a fascinating look here. 59.1% vaccination, that's fully vaccinated. 19.1% of boosters. And the question is, will the vaccines need to be modified for Omicron? I mean, and if they do need to be modified, why would people get the booster tomorrow when they might have to get a brand new booster in 30 days, in 2 months?
Well, Trace, I'm glad we're talking about this. For Americans listening to this right now, this is an action you can take if you're not vaccinated yet or if you haven't gotten your booster. It's clear that in all the previous examples of variants, the vaccines have worked to provide protection, and the boosters have provided especially strong protection against things like Delta. Given that history, we expect that most likely the current vaccines will be sufficient to provide protection, and especially the boosters will give that additional layer of protection, because there's something about the booster that causes your immune system to really expand its capacity against all kinds of different spike proteins, even ones it hasn't seen before. So please, Americans, if you're one of those folks who's sort of waiting to see, this would be a great time to sign up, get your booster. Or if you haven't been vaccinated already, get started. Omicron is one more reason to do this. Now, if we need a new vaccine designed specifically against Omicron, Pfizer and Moderna are already in the process of designing that, but that's going to be at least 3 months or so to come into being if we have to do it. All of us hope we don't need to do that.
So you think it will be modified, but for now, for the time being, the vaccines we have are working just fine. I want to put up the 4 states and their vaccination rates, because that really kind of gives us an idea here of where we're going. You see Michigan, 54% vaccination rate, a new case rate of 59%. Maine, kind of the same thing, very high vaccination rate, high new cases. New York, 68-22. You look at the bottom there, Dr. Collins, you have Florida, 61% vaccination rate, down in cases. You know, it was only a couple of months ago the media was giving Florida an awful hard time, saying that Ron DeSantis' policies were all wrong. What's going on here? Why are some of the states with some of the most severe lockdowns and mandates doing poorly, and states like Florida that have virtually no mandates doing quite well?
Well, it all comes down to who is actually getting the disease, and especially who's getting sick enough to be in the hospital or to die. Keep in mind, getting a mild case of the illness certainly happens as breakthroughs from the vaccinated folks, although boosters really help prevent that. But if you're talking about who's in the hospital and who's dying, those are still the unvaccinated people, and there are lots of those in all the states you just mentioned. If there's a lesson here, it's, come on, America, we have missed the chance to be at a much higher level of vaccination across the country that would put us in a stronger position. For all those reasons of misinformation that people have heard, we've not done what we should have done to protect ourselves. If Omicron is one more wake-up call, then let's wake up. And come on, America, you can do this. These vaccines are safe. They're effective. People have been using them for more than a year. 200 million people plus have gotten injected. These are something you want for yourself, your family, your community.
Yeah, Dr. Collins, I've got about a minute left here. They talk a lot about these antiviral pills, Merck and Pfizer, and some of them say, look, these are game changers. These pills are game changers. Do you worry that when they come out with these new pills and they are as effective as we're being told, that it will lessen people's, need or hurry to get this vaccine?
It does worry me, Trace, although it would not be a rational conclusion, because these are pills that you would take if you're shown to be infected. You don't want to be infected. Take the analogy. Do you want to wear your seatbelt or just forget that and count on the emergency room to patch up your broken bones? I think the seatbelt's a better deal. The vaccines are your seatbelt. Use them. If for some reason you still get sick, it'll be great to have these antivirals. I am tickled to see them emerging. Molnupiravir, the Merck drug, will be debated on Tuesday. The Pfizer drug, Paxlovid, is not far behind. It's great that we're going to have something like that, but that is not the whole answer. Prevention is better than treatment.
Yeah, it is a bit of good news. Dr. Francis Collins, thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate it.
Glad to be with you, Trace.